Good morning to you. About 9 minutes before 8 o'clock, you're watching Breakfast Television on this slightly overcast morning. We are talking back to school and how best to handle those first few days, weeks, and then months at university. We are joined by SFU students and members of the council there, Jasdeep Gill and Christina Lutzik. Jasdeep, you are External Relations Vice President with Student Services. We'll start with you. Talk about your first few days on campus for those new students, those first-year students. How do you handle setting up your study schedule, getting your classes, and scheduling your day most effectively?
I think the best tip that I was given in first year is that each course credit is about 3 to 4 hours of coursework each week. So that's a good estimate. So if you're taking 3-credit course, maybe estimate 6 to 9 hours of study per week for that course. So it kind of gives you a map of how many hours you should be dedicating for each course.
Okay, so let's just say you have a full slate of 5 courses, 3-credit-hour courses. That's a lot of study hours.
It is, definitely. So it's good to pace yourself because a lot of times, especially if you're an incoming student from high school, you don't really have those checks every week, let's say on homework or on readings. It's a lot more self-paced. So it's really good to make yourself accountable and have a schedule there that you can keep track of as well.
Okay, and then what if you have classes with labs too? Would that add to it?
No, labs are definitely a lot more heavier on the schedule. I didn't have to worry about that, not in the sciences, but for those students that do have labs, you really have to make sure that outside of classwork you have 3 to 6 hours, I would say, per course per day at least, depending on what you have in terms of midterms or exams coming up.
So a lot more studying than in high school.
For sure.
Okay, Christina, getting involved in campus life can make the transition feel a lot easier. In high school, in junior high, you're basically involved whether you want to be or not. But in university, you don't necessarily have to be involved. You can be just there doing your own thing. Tell us about the involvement and some of the things you should or can be doing on campus.
Yeah, well, getting involved is definitely like a really important thing to do. We have our clubs days actually this coming up week, so September 10th to 12th, so you'll be able to check out all of our clubs and student unions. We have over 300 clubs and student unions. They range from social clubs to academic clubs, so hopefully something that'll reach everyone's interests, and if not, you can always create your own club.
And this isn't just for on-campus students, people living on campus. I find that folks that are commuters are less involved in campus life, but that's the most fun, the most enjoyable part about university is getting involved. So are there programs specific to students that are commuters?
Nothing specific to them, but we definitely encourage all our students to get involved because it really helps with the whole academic experience, making those connections, meeting new people, finding people that have the same interests as you. Yeah,
that's for sure. Jasdeep, what about setting up your schedule? Not every program has a specific class that you're supposed to take in every semester. So how do you pick those classes and balance them out?
Well, a lot of students use a site called Rate My Prof. It gives you a little bit of insight onto what a professor's teaching style is, how tough a course was, but I would say don't completely rely on those opinions. It's sometimes helpful to look at past syllabuses for a professor, which are available online on the SFU website, and it gives you an idea of whether the prof is it heavy on readings or whether it's heavy on midterms or exams, and if you're the type of student that does better on exams, you can kind of pick and choose what kind of course and professor you'd like to take.
That's interesting. That didn't exist when I was around. You get into the class, and if it wasn't going well, drop it and then find another professor. All right. Christina, you guys are both in your 4th year now. How have things changed for you since you first got there 4 years ago?
Dramatically, I'd say. Definitely started getting involved with clubs. I'm sure Jasdeep did as well. And then once you start getting involved, so for me, the SFSS, so for any student, they can run and get involved in elections. That's really a very hands-on way to get involved with the school.
Simon Fraser Student Services?
Yeah, Student Society.
Student Society.
Yeah, so really that's a really hands-on way to get involved with the school. You're interacting with your clubs, with the students, with the services we deliver, so it's just a very hands-on way.
Excellent. What about you, Jesse?
I would say the same. I got involved in clubs in the Student Marketing Association in my first semester at SFU, and it was something that kind of opened doors. So every semester after that, there'd be new opportunities, and it kind of led me my way to the SFSS. And Christina and I have been working together for the last 2 years, so I've met so many friends that I know I'll have after school, and also a great network that I can reach out to professionally as well.
Great stuff. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And good luck with your year.
Thank
and your
you.
classes.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, news is next.